Hello there everyone, my name is Crazy Caleb, and today we're going to be continuing our way on with the Not Modded Module series, and today we're going to be taking a look at a fairly simple one, not the Plunger button. This one actually is not made by Speaking Evil, this one is made by Exodus himself, and what can happen here is, the way that you can distinguish this not the Plunger button from the normal Plunger button, is the button on not the Plunger button will not say, "Push me!" exclamation mark. It will have a couple different options down here in the text offset, such as push me question mark, push he, push she, push me, push it, push we, and push me. Those are going to be several different options, and in this case we have push he on the module here. So that's the way that you can distinguish from not the plunger button and plunger button. It will always say push me on the plunger button, and it will say something else that is not on the plunger button. So the button on this button on the module is an on-off push button, and when pushed into the on state, the background of the module will rapidly flash 3 different colors. And to solve this module, you must push the button into the off state when the button's timer contains a certain time. To find this number, we're going to do the following steps below. And then pushing the button into the off state when the bomb timer does not contain the number of results in a strike. And any strike received, including other modules, will reset this module. So that's going to be what we have to do here. So the first things first that we need to do is we actually need to get into the module. And all we simply need to do is we need to press this button at any time. And the nice thing is that we actually do not have to hold this guy down. It simply just pushes it down for you. As you can see, no hands. So we have a series of 3 different colors that are going to be flashing here. And in this case, this represents magenta, black, magenta, cyan, and black. And I'm going to simply remove this from having to look at it the entire time here, so don't worry. And in this case, I refer to K as black. That's the way that most people end up referring to it as. It's pretty straightforward. So now, for the first step here, we're going to be getting into mixing colors. And I'm not even going to bother reading all of this text for you guys. I'm simply going to spare you the time to just read it. And I'm going to explain to you how it works, essentially. For those of you who are familiar with mixing colors, essentially, what you have to do is essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to be combining these 3 colors together in some way, shape, or form. While you're going to essentially compare your RGB components of each of the individual guys here, and essentially what you're going to be doing is combining it. And what happens is that it's essentially going to be so in this example here, we have magenta, which is represented by a red and a blue, and then we have cyan, which is represented by a green and a blue. Now, what we have here is we want to combine these guys both together. We want to combine both these guys together for this right now. So we can combine red together. Red is not going to be with anything else. So that's going to be red present. Green is only present once, so that's going to be green. But the blues are present both twice. And what happens here is we would start with magenta, and then what would happen here is we would have this blue be essentially toggled off with this cyan right here. And what we would get from this is we would get a yellow. So the red, green, in this case, represented by yellow. It gives you a color table down below, but that's essentially what we're going to be doing here. RGB are your primary components, and you are going to be combining these guys together. And if they happen to have a similar component in both of them, that's going to be turned off. That's kind of the way I like to think about it, is it has to be an odd number of true cases present. I'm overthinking this, but it's just color combination. And then combining black essentially will not change anything. It does not have any of the RGB components present. It's not adding or subtracting anything. And what we're essentially going to be doing is we're going to be taking this color that we get from this stage is going to be used in step 2. So in this case, our color was yellow. And that's what we're going to get from this. So now, using the color received in step 1, we're going to find its corresponding hex code from the table below for step 2. We're going to go through each character and in the hex code and after the hash and determine if it is in the serial number. And if it is, add 1 to the counter. So our color is going to be yellow, and we're going to be taking a look at CED 707. So let's take a look at the serial number. The serial number is right here. So now, do we have any of these characters present in the serial number? So, do we have Charlie? No. Do we have Echo? Yes, we do. In this case, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going individually one by one, and instead of looking for each individual occurrence of them, we're simply going to be asking, is this position present? Is this character present in the serial number at all? If so, yes, we're going to be adding 1. So in this case, the Echo is only going to be giving us a score of 1. Do we have Delta? Nope. Do we have 7? Nope. Do we have 0? Nope. Do we have 7? Nope. We're good. So now, all we start off with is a 1. And now, for the final step here, for the easiest part of this module, is going to be the text offset. So all we're simply going to do is with the score that we obtained last time, which can be potentially 0 as well, what we're going to do is we're going to add the text offset that this gives us based off of the display on the module here. which in this case is a push key. So we're going to be subtracting 2 from what we have right now, which is going to be a -1. And then the text shown on the button corresponds to an offset, and if this number goes below 0, we're going to add 10. So this means that we're going to be adding 10 to this, which is going to be giving us a 9. And then the final number after applying the offset is the desired number. So we're done with this module. And just like that, that's a really simple module. So now we're going to press this button when it has the last digit of a 9, like so. And just like that is a solved module. That's all you do with this module. It's really straightforward. It's just understanding how the color mixing works, essentially, is going to be very important. It's all you need to do with this module. Hopefully you guys have a general idea of how color mixing works. It's pretty straightforward what it asks you to do. However, reading this might be looking a little bit weird. Using 1 as an anchor, blah, 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 blah. It can be a bit weird to read. I had a little bit of a struggle with it too. But it's basically, if you know the concept of whiteout, which is a little bit of a boss module, or how Simon Sens actually works, which is a trickier module, you know how this one works. Trust me. So let's take a look at one final example. There really is not much else to this. It's just mixing the colors, that is the first step. Comparing the stuff in the serial number, that is the second step, based off of the hex codes, and the text offset for the last bit right there. So for this example, we have a push knee, which is going to be an offset of 0. So whatever we get from the color hex codes is what we get for the entire module, because it's not going to be adding or subtracting anything. Perfect. So let's get right into it. So we have colors of a blue, magenta, black. Okay, cool. Blue, magenta, and black. So now let's do the color mixing that we do again. And in this case, the only thing that's actually going to happen is that since magenta is made up of red and blue, and we're going to be mixing blue together with blue and magenta, all we're simply going to get from this is red. This black is basically a free spot. We do not care about what black does. It doesn't affect anything. The one we do care about is we want to care about white. That's going to be the one that affects all of the RGB components. Black does not affect anything, so we're good to go. But in this case, magenta is made up of red and blue. These two blues are going to cancel each other out. They don't exist anymore, so it's just going to be red left. And that's going to be the way that this works. So now let's take a look at the red hex code here in this example here. Let's find the serial number, wherever it so be, right here. And now let's go for each individual character and compare it to if it's in the serial number or not. Delta, no. 7, no. 1, yes. It's going to be adding 1 to this. Okay. Echo, yes. It's going to be a 2. 1, yes. Both of these guys are going to be present again, so that's going to be another 2 added to these guys. That is going to be us resulting in a 4. Now, let's add the push knee, which is we said was 0. And in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to press the button back to the off state when the last digit is a 4. So that is a solved module. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.